Hi, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today I wanted to give you a tour of this handy dandy sort cage. It's invaluable to my program. It's where I can get a good level look at birds, and I can do it individually. I can sort out groups of babies and go favorite, so-so, probably a call into 3 different categories. And it's really quite useful, and I think you need one. But here's some stuff that I would change about it. So when I measured it on the outside depth of it, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that one-handed, and that was 41.5 inches. Depth-wise, it's longer than my arms are, so when the birds are small, they can hide in the back from me, so I would reduce that depth a little bit, maybe about 38 inches or so. I've got my biggest boy in here. When he turns to the side, the tail scrapes against the side, so I'd like to see it a little bit wider. When I take the tape measure and I measure inside width, 17 inches. Going to 19 or 20, that would help when you're doing bigger birds like this. The height is great. His tail is nowhere near the top. So I would keep this height. And including the base all the way down, if I can get this tape measure to cooperate. This is tricky with one hand. Alright. So including the bottom board, essentially it's 28 inches. The front plate, that's a 2x4, and then we switch over to 2x2 for the rest of the framing. The latches, they're pretty basic. Hinges too. Having the compartments with removable dividers, that'd be pretty handy. This one is rigid, you can't change it. But if I could remove those dividers and use this as a temporary holding pen too, that just increases what you can do with something like this. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a total width with this little dinky tape measure, but I'll try it. "60 inches. So the bottom piece of plywood, that's about a 1/2 inch. So 60 by 41 is the bottom, and then we framed in over top of it. It has hardware cloth, 1/2 inch, all the way around the sides. And the top is 2 inch by 4 inch fencing. And I did a little cutout here so I could put my camera there and film some stuff. The back, that's also doors. And I don't use them in this situation, but the reason we originally built this thing is because it's a perfect fit inside of the wheel wells of my SUV when I have the seats folded down. So if I was going to take some birds somewhere, this slides right into it. And I had this thought to drop down legs, so I can slide it out, drop the legs, and now I'm set up with birds I can reach easily, and they transport well. But I haven't even used it for that. It served me greater purpose here in the middle of the barn, helping to look at birds. Now, if I wanted to take it a step further, I've got a four-wheel cart, and I can take this and put it on that cart. Now it's mobile to get through the rest of the farm. So when I need to go to pullet pen, rooster coop, down to the tractors, I can load this with birds and take them where they need to go, just by having the ability to put wheels on here. Inside height, I'm going to go ahead and get the dimensions there for you. I'll just hook onto a piece of wire, drop it down. 27 inches sitting on the floor. The height I like. I would reduce the depth and I would expand the width if I was gonna build this again. And if we watch how Mr. Big can move around in here. Oh, go on, scoot back. If his tail set was lower, that tail would be scraping the sides. And that could be damaging. If you have to use this for bird storage, this hardware cloth can shred feathers. So you don't want to have the birds in constant contact with it. But that's the dimensions. That's how it's put together. It's really useful, and I use it a lot. I have overflow down in the bottom. These are some veterinary dog kennels that I found cheap at a barn sale. I don't use them that often, but it's another spot to put birds in waiting. So if I've got several to get through, I can load the bottom of this, and then I can bring them up top as I need them for viewing. It's that viewing and watching them move, watching how they stand, comparing them to each other, that's really valuable. And you can't get the same sort of visual when they're in a pen within a large group. So if you want to pick your favorite 1, 2, 3, you can put them right in front of you. This is right at my waist. This is very easy to look. It's a nice head-on shot. That way the angles aren't messing with what I see right here, right in front. So feel free to build your own and tweak those measurements a little bit. You can also tweak it to work with the size of bird you have. Like if you were into something that was bigger than these, then obviously you want to size it bigger. If you're into something smaller, you can shrink it down a little bit. You can also buy the manufactured show cages, like a 24-inch by 24-inch or so. That way you can travel around the farm with those too. If you had a folding table, you can take those where you need them to be for where your birds are, set them up on a table, still get that waist height effect. And I've got this secondary area. These are just some extra panels from a dog exercise pen. I did put a top on it because some birds want to look for an escape route. So I can put them right there where I can reach them and then move them into separation so I can look at them some more. Nice width, buddy. This is my favorite male this year. He's got excellent vigor, excellent temperament. He's easy to be around. He does his job. He's very supportive to the hens. He's full of fleshing, width, length. His comb's a little large, but that's common in my line. Tail's thin. Transition isn't so great, but the girls he's with, they'll help. He doesn't like being away from the girls though, so I'll go ahead and shut this off and get him put back. Feel free to like and subscribe to go along this learning adventure with the birds, trying to do this dual purpose thing.